Hello, hello. Welcome to Thrive in 2025. My name is Dana Lynn, and I am so delighted to be here in community. I joined this community about 4 years ago, and prior to that, I was working in healthcare for nearly 30 years. I was an exercise physiologist at the local hospital here and had been in other hospitals in like a cardiopulmonary, diabetic rehab, those kinds of settings, pulmonary rehab, really on the prevention side of things. I really wanted to change healthcare from the inside. And what I found myself, the settings I found myself in were very community-based. So it is no surprise that I find myself in this community doing amazing things with so many of you here. I think that so much can happen when we witness each other going through journeys of all kinds, all shapes. Everyone's different, everyone does it differently. And I think at the heart of what we have here is super beneficial for everyone. So I would love to start just a little bit more about my story. As an exercise physiologist, I really saw that by the time people got to healthcare, they had spent a lot of years in pretty bad habits. And so breaking those habits were hard, but even my own, what I realized was even eating on organic for many years, doing cleanse after cleanse, teaching yoga, working out outside, really loving being outside, hiking. When I had my daughter at the age of 38 or 39, I noticed that my energy level just tanked, and my joints started to ache when I would do anything for long distances, whereas prior to that, I used to be able to bike and hike for almost as long as I wanted. So when someone introduced me to this superfood protocol, which brings us all together, whoever invited you really cares about you, because when I started to get this nutrition into my body, so much changed. I felt like I had so much more energy than I had imagined having, even prior to kids. I didn't get tired late in the day. I felt like I could hike and bike, keep up with my husband, and it was endless. And my knees didn't ache, my back didn't ache, and I slept so much better. So it did surprise me. I was totally a whole foods gal, and this protocol, these foods, this community really helped me to thrive in ways that I never imagined. So to start off this call, how many of you, maybe put a 5 in the chat if you heard about the superfood giveaway? Anybody hear about us giving away well over $100 in superfoods? Just throw some 5s in the chat if you know about that. And if you don't know about that, I'm just going to give you a little piece of it right now, because I want you to be able to enter into this giveaway. And the best way to do that is first to register and come to this call, so congratulations, you're part of the way there. We would love to see your face if you can, although that's not required. And we would love to hear from you in the chat or questions at the end. So just engage with us, let us know what is percolating for you, what your goals are. Just as much engagement as you can will help us. And here's how we'll do it. Next week, on January 12th, which is next Sunday, we will put all the names in a hat that were here and were participating, and then we'll shuffle them like it's all electronic, and then we'll pick a name next Sunday. you will have needed to be present to one of these Zooms in order to win. So you don't necessarily need to be there next week, but we would love to have you no matter what. So please, if I missed any of the rules, Rachel, if you're still here, please let me know. But those are kind of the rules around the giveaway. And then from this point on, I'm going to really explain why the giveaway might be important to you and what we have going on here. So before we do, there's a couple of, before we go into the details of this protocol, I would love to hear from some people who have already done it, just as I have. So you heard just a little bit of my story, and I would like to bring on some stories. And before I do that, I'm just going to share my screen because I have some pictures to show you. And what we're talking about is a 90-day protocol. So let's see if I can pull it up right away. There we go. So here is this sacred 90-day container that we are creating as a community. And in the next 90 days, we'll have Zoom call support, we'll have product giveaway, we'll have a Facebook group support with recipes and cooking videos with Rachel and answering questions in that. And we may also have a Telegram thread. We're still working on it and still evaluating it. I did leave it off the list. But this is really what we're talking about, is an opportunity to come together, to change habits together, to journey together, to feel better, to look better, to think better, to perform better. Whatever your health goals are for 2025, I guarantee you there'll be a place for you here. So I am going to bring on my dear friend, Kristen. These are her pictures here on the left. It is such a one, as I said, my heart is really in community. I love creating women's communities here where I live locally. I adore being in community for the growth and witnessing that it allows. So Kristen, I would love for you to come on. It's a delight to have you in my community, and I would love for you to share a little bit about your experience with this 90-day protocol. And I'm going to stop my share so everyone can see your face.
Thank you so much, Dana Lynn. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to all of you for coming. And so I was diagnosed almost 11 years ago now with multiple sclerosis. And where do I start? Keep it short and simple. It was very scary. I was turning 30. It was about my 30th birthday. And I started having vision problems and all sorts of things going on, and pain. So I did not do medication. I knew that nutrition was the way. I just knew. So I was terrified, but I still just did not do medication, or they wanted to put me on steroids and MS meds right away. So turning to nutrition, I started to juice every day, and I went really, really clean, just completely eliminated all processed foods, sugars, dairy, alcohol, everything. And it worked. That worked in 6 months. That was working. So I knew that nutrition was the way. I didn't have Purium at the time, and I knew that I needed this nutrition. I just didn't know where to get it. So I was trying to create it on my own. I'm trying to juice and trying to do everything clean and everything. And it's really hard. I mean, it's really hard to do that, especially if you're working full time. I was working full time, also in a hospital setting at the time and in the medical field. And my options were the cafeteria for food, or Starbucks, or, I have to meal prep and bring my own things. And so when I found Purium, it was just a complete no-brainer. It was fast nutrition it's the cleanest food on the planet. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. So lots of things opened up for me when I found Purium. At the time, that was 2020, end of 2021. I was suffering really bad because it's so hard to keep up that type of a lifestyle. I would slip back and forth, and I was drinking too much alcohol, just going out with friends like normal. But that is very acidic and not for me. It's not something that I should be doing. Too much coffee, too much caffeine, too much of this and that. And I thought, oh, it's just a little bit here and there, but it really wasn't. It was too much. So I was having trouble standing at the end of the day to cook or do dishes or do anything in the kitchen. I couldn't even stand. I had to bring a chair into the kitchen. And that was really scary. Going up and down stairs was hard. That was getting hard. And I was like, I'm going to need something to walk with soon. Like, what? I can't live like this. I'm a hiker. I'm a figure skater, a former figure skater. I'm a very active person. And I felt like things were really getting bad and I was getting really scared. So I saw my friend with this green drink, shaking it up, and I saw her just completely transform her health. She's on here as well. She had some really complicated things going on, and I saw her changing her health around. And I knew that that was what I needed. This food was what I needed. It's living food, and it's cellular nutrition. And back, 10, 11 years ago, I had found a doctor called Dr. Terry Walls, who is a medical doctor. She had MS, and she does paleo and everything, but she was talking about clean eating and about cellular nutrition and about mitochondrial health and all this, and it just blew me away. So I knew that I needed to nourish my cells, and that's exactly what this is. It's cellular nutrition, and I now don't have any symptoms. I don't have any pain. I can walk, I can hike. I just got done like 3:45, like got done like hiking, and I have so much energy. That was another thing. I used to, many years ago, I used to commute, and these were all little things that added up over time. But I remember many years ago, when I lived in Atlanta, I would f- almost fall asleep on the highway because I commuted from the suburbs into the city and had about an hour commute there and back. I would fall asleep almost at the wheel, so I'd have to pull over and have to find something to drink or just rest my eyes for a minute. And just things like that, just dealing with extreme fatigue for so many years. Um, so it all came to a head at the end of 2021, and this nutrition has just saved my life. I detox now. I've learned about parasite cleansing and how to do that and how to just eat properly. And so it's been a huge relief in my life. And there are some people on here that I know will be a huge relief and impact in your lives as well. So thank you so much for having me on.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing your story, Kristen.
Thank you.
Let's see. Beautiful. So, Kat, I thought I saw you here. Are you able to come off onto the camera, Kat? Are you there? That was the other picture I showed.
I don't think Kat Baird is here.
Oh, a different Kat. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see her on here.
She's having trouble getting in.
I have somebody who's having a hard time getting in, and they're asking for an ID code. Is there an ID code so they don't have to go through that other format?
Rajni, as co-host, can you invite them by just pull up your email as if you're going to send an email, and it will give you all that you need. Just pop it in the chat, and then everyone can send it to their
I've already sent the link, and I got in that way, and so did Nancy. I don't know why she can't get in.
Okay. Well, you can private chat with Rajni or with Glennis, and we'll continue
I'd love
on.
to do that.
Yeah. Okay, beautiful. Hope that they can help people get on. In the meantime, yeah, if you just go to participants and then down at the bottom, there's a invite. You can, anyone who's co-host can do that. They can get the invite link. Beautiful. Well, let's see. So, Kat, you're not able to come on camera, is that right?
She's not here, but
I'm
maybe
here.
Oh, you are here.
Hi. Are you talking about me?
No, we're talking about a different cat.
Okay, there's two cats in the room.
But I would volunteer Michelle.
All right. Michelle, I would love for you to share your story, dear heart. I'm gonna, if you could, we have a lot to cover, so just, you know, like a 3-minute share would be amazing. I can't wait to have everyone hear your story, dear heart.
Well, I too have multiple sclerosis and I've had it since 98. I've been in 3 near-death experiences. One in which I did have stage 3 kidney failure, and I've been on Purium now for over a year. And in the meantime, all my labs are back to normal. All my stage 3 kidney problem is gone. I've been able to walk. I was in a scooter, motorized wheelchair. Now I can walk as far as getting my mail. And that happened all after being on Purium now for about a year. Actually, it's been a little over a year. So I've had a lot, I've gotten off of 17 medications. Let's see, I don't know. There's been so many. This has really just saved my life. So
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you for sharing with the whole group.
Did you mention all the medications you got off?
Like 17 medications, yeah.
That's amazing.
yeah, it's been amazing. It really has saved me. And my most recent is the kidney failure. So all my labs are back to normal. So that's good.
Beautiful. Well, I do know that the real cat just jumped in. And I'm going to give her a minute to breathe. I would love for one more share before we hear Kat share. Let's see, let's put. So Rachel, would you like to share your story real quick, or is this not a
Sure.
good time?
Yeah, I'll give a brief update. So, and sorry, I can't be on video. There's not enough Wi-Fi here. I was struggling with my health for 9 years. I had horrible brain fog, adrenal fatigue. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's autoimmune disorder of the thyroid. And I got to a point where I could no longer work. And I was beginning to think I would be a homeless person. And in fact, I did actually become homeless for a short period of time. But I went to everyone, acupuncturists, Chinese medical doctors, Eastern, Western. I went to all of them and no one could get me well until I finally found this protocol, this health reset that we're all about to embark on. And when I joined back 10 years ago, I was really feeling like I was at death's door. And when I did this protocol, everything changed. And literally within the first 10 days, I had energy like I'd never known. I was 42 or 44 at the time. I can't remember how old am I. I was like 42 at the time. And I had been sick my entire 30s. And I really couldn't even remember energy until I did this. And so in the first 10 days, my energy came back. And that was probably the biggest gift ever given me, was having energy for the first time in life, it seemed. And being able to run, being able to smile, just feeling joy and happiness in my life. I felt motivated. I felt able to work, and everything changed. It completely changed my life. I was able to start exercising, and a lot of people know I actually ended up within a year and a half, I became a champion bodybuilder. That's how excited I was to have energy. And long story short is, I've been sharing this with everyone I know because I feel everyone in the world deserves to have this type of health and feel this way. And so some of the beautiful things is I've, joined the company and I've been sharing this with everyone. And it's actually not only enabled me to get into a home and not be homeless anymore, but it's enabled me to support my family in the Philippines and help them build businesses over there. And so I just can't say how much this has changed every aspect of my life. And I'm so grateful and so grateful to all of you. And I'm just so happy for all of you who are just discovering this, because if you struggle in any of the ways, this is your chance. This is your opportunity to really take your health into your hands and transform your life.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you for me. I know you have a lot going on right now. Thanks for being here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen for just a second and show you a picture of Kat before she comes on. This on the right is Kat's before and after picture. So I really am, as I said, this lights me up so much to see the change in people's lives, really on a very deep level, long-lasting change. And thank you so much for being here, Kat. I really look forward to everyone hearing your story.
Spearheading this. I love it. I love this community so much. And I don't actually even know if I would still be here if it weren't for Purium. It's literally changed my life in every way. And it's a necessary part of my life in order for me to continue healing my body. So I've experienced a condition called psoriasis since my teens, for nearly 30 years, for 29 years. And psoriatic arthritis since my teens also, 17, 18. And by the age of 19, I was bedridden for the first time and told that I would be
warming up again, okay?
in a wheelchair by the age of 30 without the use of pharmaceuticals. And I tried them. I tried some that made me very, very sick, and I had crazy side effects. And I'm going to condense this, but I ended up being denied health insurance for over a decade, for 12 years. And I tried a lot of, like, pretty much what felt like everything. And I went back and forth with diet, and that always helped to some extent. But then my situation got so bad, my physical health got so bad that I ended up being rewarded assistance and going back and trying the big pharma way and not knowing what I was doing and what I was putting into my body. And actually, even when I was younger, I had a lot of pharmaceutical drugs in my body, even from a young age. And I know that that's something that has added up over time, especially when I went toward and did the biologics and steroids. And, I used to take upwards of 10 Advil a day. And then when I was still working, but experiencing so much physical pain that I was so hard to be in my body, this was after I'd had 2 surgeries. I'd had 12 joints broken and reset, and I needed money. And so I was trying to work, but I was in so much physical pain that I would pop opiates in the bathroom, take 10 Advil a day. I was just like not living a life that I wanted to live. It was so painful, and it was just not a good quality of life. But I found Purium, and Purium helped me. And here's the thing, that when I initially found it, I didn't commit to I didn't do every aspect of the cleanse. And it wasn't until I started doing every bit of it and every bit of really adhering to a diet for me because things got worse and worse and worse and worse and added up. Even with these products in my life, my health actually ended up regressing because of the last year. I've been heavily poisoned by the water systems, also by drinking water that had mold in it. And so I have had a really crazy mold infestation in my body. And this last year, my body deformed rapidly. My spine, my shoulders, my neck, my back. I've experienced hundreds of deformities. And now, since this last summer, really committing to my health and to doing everything and asking for, praying for the guidance and doing and taking all of the things, detoxing glyphosate, taking my super aminos, like this is my medicine and my body needs it. At the beginning of you saw the psoriasis that was on my face. It was around my eyes. It was in my ears. It was in my nose. Like it's covered over 80% of my body for a very long time. It's off of my face. It's no longer on my face. I no longer feel like I'm being stabbed in multiple places. I was having crazy I had nerve damage in my back, and that is completely gone. I was having migraines from the nerve damage as well, and my organs weren't working properly. My digestive, like nothing was working properly. Even my vagus nerve would stop working, and I couldn't even eat food. So having Purium has literally saved my life. At the beginning, I'm no longer drinking the mold water, thank God. Like that has been resolved. And I've even been scared to bathe in the water here because it's so contaminated with heavy metals and mercury, and there's a whole lot going on in it. So anyway, I'm doing a lot that's helping, and Purium is a vital component of that. But with the super aminos, I gained 10 pounds. I know people either that your bodies just start regenerating and your body does what it needs to do. And a lot of bodies need to lose weight, and some bodies actually need to gain weight. And I'm one of those people where my body, because my whole body deformed and I wasn't able to move. And I just had a lot of muscle atrophy. And so from the beginning of June to the end of June, just implementing the super aminos 3 times a day in my life, I gained 10 pounds. And I was starting to take the shakes. I think I was just doing 1 a day then. But when I really, really committed in August, and my whole everything transformed. Like the pain level has gone down and it continues to go down. My skin is healing and continues to heal. And I'm talking 29 years of like heavy metal toxicity, pathogen overload, and all of the things. But every time I do the parasite cleanse portion, which also detoxes mold, virus, bacteria, it's game changing. Every time, like the more that I commit to my body and I really honor what my body wants and needs. I'm having lemon water every day, especially in the morning with my super aminos. I'm detoxing glyphosate every day. I have to, in the past, I was not consistent. And for me, I have to be consistent. And that's why this container is so exciting, because I feel so much more motivated and driven and determined, and to really be accountable and to show up and to incorporate the shakes into my life. And it's really not that hard. Like I used to make such a big deal about it, but it's like this is my medicine and it tastes delicious and it's so nourishing that like my body is satiated. I've gained more weight since then, by the way. I'm doing better and better. Like it's pretty incredible. The inflammation in my ankles continues to decrease and my knees continues to decrease. My life, just feeling my light come back, like the the clarity and the focus, that coming back, and the depression subsiding. It's like the potential for um, vitality, it's endless. And yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you for letting me share and take up so much time and space. I just love these products and love this community so much. And everyone's story is so inspirational. I love it. And I love that it
Thank
really
you,
is. Yeah.
Kat.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Beautiful. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the nitty gritty, y'all. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you to everyone who shared. Thank you for being so vulnerable and giving us your story. I'm going to jump into the details of what we have here, what everyone has been speaking about. So very quickly, I'm going to run through some of these. Part of what is going on here is that 100 years ago, food was real food. Soil was real soil. The food that we ate had more nutrients in it because the soil that food was grown in didn't have the toxins that it does today. The air didn't have the toxins that it has. The water, same thing. So our bodies are being inundated with a bit more than they used to. And so our detox pathways need to be a bit stronger than they used to. And so one thing that a few people touched on, how many of you maybe put a 6 in the chat, if you know what glyphosate is, this is an herbicide that is present in our air, in our water, and on much of our farmland. If you aren't eating organic, and even some organic, you are likely eating glyphosate, and it is really taking its toll on our gut microbiome, which is creating more and more issues with our health. So this is a very heart-centered mission we're on here. This mission is really about not only helping people's health, but helping our environment, creating community, and creating an opportunity to make extra income if that's something you desire. So this mission is really 4-tiered: community, health, wealth, and the environment. And so as I move along in these slides, I'm going to, as I said, buzz through quickly, but glyphosate has been shown to affect the synapses, our gut microbiome, very quickly, within 20 minutes. So even if we're getting it out of our system, we're healing our gut as soon as we go out to eat or have, food at someone's house who may not pay attention, then it's possible that our gut is again going to have an issue with the food that we're exposing it to. So this is part of what we're up against here. And this is part of the lifestyle. This is really part of what we are doing our best to educate about and help people restore from. So part of the problem is that our lives have gotten so busy. We're looking for quick fixes. And much of the quick fix is very calorie dense, but nutrient deficient. So it's probably no surprise that we are overfed and undernourished. So much of our food just doesn't have the nutrient density that it used to. As I said, our bodies are dealing with more toxins than they used to. So here comes this Purium solution. And this is convenient, but it's also extremely nutrient dense. It is the healthiest fast food. You can grab it quickly. It's very low in calories, but very high in nutrient density. And the focus is really on improving gut health, which improves immunity, which improves overall health, also improves how we think, and really our connection to each other and to our purpose on the planet, individually and collectively. So I really want to, it wouldn't feel good to me to not mention our two co-founders and co-owners. So we have been a community for 20 years and running, and 10 years prior to that, they were developing products to help people's health. And they were a part of lobbying the US government to get the organic food label in our stores, in all of our stores. And so Dave and Amy, this is really a family-run business, and they are accessible, they are heart-centered, and their mission is wide and deep. One way you can get to know a bit more about their mission is really to watch these documentaries, Kiss the Ground and Common Ground. What these two documentaries have in common is their dedication to regenerative agriculture. So what that means is that we as a community are supporting farmers that are treating the environment and our food system and the soil exactly the way that will enhance our health globally, our health certainly here in the United States and across the world. So regenerative farming circulates crops. It uses animals to help with the quality of the soil, because what our food eats is what it's grown in is essentially what our food eats, and then we eat what our food eats. So our connection and our health in the ecosystem of our body is totally connected and intricately woven into the health of the soil. So I want to go into what this 90-day program looks like. I'm going to go through a bit faster so that we have some really good time for questions. But essentially, there are these 5 products that you're looking at here that have been formulated very strategically by Dave and Amy to assist the body in doing just that, detoxifying, detoxifying and restoring, repairing at a cellular level. So these 5 products in this 90-day come 30 days at a time. The first 30 days comes with this blender. It's extremely convenient. It's rechargeable, USB rechargeable. You can take it anywhere. So I'm going to go into each one of these products briefly. It's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. And this program is what these stories really all had in common. Each of us do it in our own way to start. This is the 30-day program that I did first 4 years ago, and I couldn't believe how good I felt.
Yeah, we're going to take them.
So if everyone could mute when they come in, great. Okay, so the first aspect to this program are the shakes. Now I talked about the soil, but everything in these shakes is allowed to ripen to its peak ripeness right on the farm, and then it's juiced, wind dried at a very low temperature, so all the nutrient density is held in. And this wind dried process is very gentle on the juice. So grown in regenerative soil, juiced right at the farm, wind dried at a very low temperature, and then it's triple tested for both what it says it is and any contaminants, so heavy metals, plastics, mold, etc. And so that is what makes this nutrition so powerful. These shakes can reduce your cravings. How many of you are dealing with sugar cravings, salt cravings, perhaps alcohol or other substances? These shakes will have been, well, I should say may help, but they have been shown over and over and over and over again to help with cravings. So energy levels, because your cells are being flooded with extra nutrition, the cells can then detoxify, let go of what they're holding on to, satisfies your hunger, and it also helps with a hormone called adiponectin that asks the body to choose fat first to be burned. So these are meal replacement shakes. They can be. Some of us don't need that. If that's you, then you can eat very alkalinizing food, detoxifying and alkalinizing food along with these shakes, but they can be meal replacements, which is what makes them so easy and so convenient. So the next aspect to this 90-day is a muscle-building amino acid called superaminos 23. And this is very accessible to your system very quickly. It can be taken up by your muscles very quickly. It also gives your kidneys and liver a rest. So these superaminos 23 are absorbed by the body to 99%, versus something like a chicken. If you were to have a piece of chicken, then the body has to break it down to its amino acids. And then by the time that protein is usable at the cellular level, the body's really only using about 48% of the amino acids. The body needs protein broken down into amino acids. This is very quick, very easy, very accessible. Can burn fat, helps with skin quality, skin elasticity, and it also helps with mental clarity. Biomedic, we touched on this a little bit. This is the only product that I know of on the market that has been certified through the Detox Project in the UK to remove glyphosate. It's been shown up to 74% in 6 weeks, and it reduces inflammation. The C-reactive protein, which is a marker of inflammation, also came down 75% in this study that was done right when Biomedic came out. We are planning to do more studies, and I look forward to seeing them more, but this is the only product that I know of that's been certified to remove glyphosate from our gut microbiome. So it can also help with digestion. It helps with bloating. It may help with either too fast, digestion that's too fast, or too slow. And then apothecary is a tart cherry juice grown all organically, very concentrated, and it may help to your sleep. It has naturally occurring melatonin. It also helps, it's an antioxidant, so it helps with free radicals while you sleep. Again, healthy to your skin, to your inflammatory response, and to pain. And then the last product I wanted to talk about is the parasite cleanse. So Kat spoke about this. You do this, you wait, you give your body a little bit of time to detoxify, about 10 days, and get ready. And then you introduce this for 10 days, helps with healthy bowel function, helps to reduce toxin buildup in the colon wall, eliminate parasites, mold, yeast, fungus. But if you're pregnant or nursing, then there is an option to use cracked cell chlorella instead, which is very healthy for cell growth and function. And so that is each of the products. I'm going to stop my share and see if there are any questions out there. And certainly those of you who have been doing this longer than I have, if I missed something, then please put it in the chat. So are there any questions? All right. Looks like no questions. I did.
You know, I'm going to ask a question for somebody because I don't know if she's going to ask it. So, I have somebody on here who bought products 2 years ago and still has some of the tart cherry juice. So 2 years later, if it has been in the refrigerator, what do you think? Is that still good? Because it would be nice to know the shelf life of some of these products.
So there is, I believe there's an expiration date on everything. There's a 2-year shelf life, but if a tart cherry juice has been opened in the fridge, I would just dump it out.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it does its nutritional value, it has probably suffered. So
Yeah.
I were her, I would dump it out and start again.
Get new. Yeah, I think new and fresh would be more powerful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, what products are good for nervous system regulation or regeneration to help with adrenal gland fatigue? So, Shauna, that's an excellent question. I'm going to defer that question. If we can stay on after, I'd be happy, you and whoever sponsored you, and invited you here, I'd be happy to talk specifically about adrenal fatigue. Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, so Rachel answered it in the chat. So the ULT, which is the 5 products that I recommended, and White American Ginseng. There is, if you are deciding which pack to purchase, then there is a base pack that I just went over, and then there are over 65 products to support your specific issues. Rajni also put another product in the chat that included Be Energetic, which I would also recommend, and there's a Zinc Aid product. So these are all products that are add-ons to your 90-day protocol. And I have to say one thing about supplements versus what we have. So first of all, this is not a diet. This is really the beginning of changing your lifestyle habits. This is at a very deep level beginning to nourish you so that you begin to make better choices. Second, my second point is that these they are herb formulations, but they are not isolate. So even the zinc product, zinc has a formulation that includes vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E, which your body knows what to do with because they're all together. And they're from whole foods. So they're not an isolate that someone put together in a lab that taxes your organs. Your body, they're real foods. So your body knows just what to do with them. So, all right, I may have missed some questions in the chat, but please feel free to unmute yourself and let me know if there are other questions. And then I want to be very aware of the time. Yeah, not dieting. Okay, beautiful. Well, all right, if there are no other questions, then here's the next step. Get with the person who invited you or stay on the line. I'm happy to stick around and order your 90-day transformation, the lifestyle subscription. That's what it's called. The person who invited you can help you choose the add-ons that are right for your situation. I'm happy to help with that. And if if that's needed. And once you order, then your products will come in the mail in, I'd say, 7 to 10 days or so. And every week, I'm going to pull up my screen again so that I can go over how we support you, because this is the most important part. If you're changing lifestyles that have been present for, lifestyle habits that have been present in your life for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 10 years even, then it can take a community to help you let go of them and change those lifestyles for something that is more serving to your system. So that is part of the value of entering into a relationship like this. You have the community, you have the support of the person who sent you here, you have my support, you have Rachel's support, you have the support of the Facebook group, you have the support of text threads that we're creating, you have recipes, and so this is really a community-driven lifestyle transformation. And if all of this excites you, there is also a wealth transformation opportunity. I personally am building my team of wellness warriors that are interested in educating just like this. And I know several of us on this call are also interested in doing the same because we feel so passionately about what we're up to and the heart-centered nature of the owners, the company, the community, and the mission. So if there are still no questions, then I am going to shut down the recording and stay on the line. And thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us tonight. We really, really hope that and trust that 2025 is the year for you to thrive physically, mentally, and in any other way that you're ready to change and thrive in. So take good care. Thank you so much.